Okay. Hello, Gami. So, talk to me. What has been going on since the last time we saw each other?
Okay, since last time we saw each other, I still haven't told my friend anything that happened. Um, we went to a party, the three of us, and and this guy and my friend just spent the whole time together, and they guys started making out like crazy, like just all the time throughout the whole party. And for me, that was like really uncomfortable, and I felt like really bad, and I felt like nothing could work with this guy. I just like dropped it. But then I asked my friend like if he thought this guy liked me, and he said that he didn't know and he wasn't sure because he doesn't know anything about his previous relationships or like when he was not gay. He doesn't know anything about that, but he said that when this guy gets with girls, it's just like to fool around or something, and that he doesn't think like he could be with me.
So, you mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, since the last time we saw each other, you told me about this situation that happened with your friend, regarding your friend, the guy who was dating, like, seeing, and you. And right now, what has happened is that you went on a party with him and your friend, and they start making out as crazy, and you feel pretty bad because of that. And then you ask him about if he likes you. Um, since the last time we saw each other, you told me that you wanted to talk with them. I want to clarify what happened with that. Did you speak afterwards?
Um, okay, so the last few days have been like really weird
Okay.
because I have asked my friend for us to meet. Like I've tried to talk to him. Today, for example, I invited him to lunch, and he said that he was like too sick and that he was probably going home. And that was like about at 11 a.m. And then about at 1 p.m. I saw him just walking, and he didn't look like sick at all, and he just ignored me. So I feel like he's avoiding me right now, and I sent him like a lot of messages, and he responds like in really short answers. But again, like the only thing I talked to him regarding this was that question, like if he felt like this guy liked me, and I asked him if like if I would go out on a date with this guy, would he be bothered? And he said that he wouldn't be bothered at all, and that if this worked between us two, that we should go for it. And like before this, I was seeing a guy. Um, his name is Daniel, and I feel like we could really connect. But then all of a sudden, he got really busy with work, and I haven't seen him in like 3 weeks. And my friend said like, but you should go with Daniel. And he's like a really good option, and I feel like he really wants to be with you. Why don't you go with him? And he started like pointing towards a different direction. But like after that, things became really weird between us, and I feel like he has some sort of resentment against me.
Okay. So it seems to me that because of the things that you told me, he's been kind of confusing you because the signs that he's given you. You mentioned also that you've been texting him and he's kind of avoiding you.
Yeah.
And how does this make you feel?
It makes me feel like I should have talked to him before, like when this all began, and I'm really afraid. Like I really, yeah, like now I feel like we are really distant, and like sometimes I try to call him, but he doesn't answer, and like he doesn't reply to my texts, and it feels like my fault because if I would have talked to him earlier, maybe he would have felt a bit safer, and now he wouldn't be so like avoidant. Yeah, but like yeah, like my guilt has really increased. But like last Sunday, I went out with this guy, and we spent the whole time, like the whole day together, and it also felt weird. I mean, he was also distant, and sometimes he tried to like approach me, but we didn't have that connection that we had the night of the party. and I feel now that he may just see me as friends, and that all of this was just like for nothing.
Okay. So it seemed to me, as you said, that your guilt has increased because of all of the situation has this been going on. I also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that you've been putting a lot of effort of like getting to not lose this friendship that you have, but at the same time, this guy, like this friend, have been avoiding you and directing you in another way, as you told me.
Yeah.
And regarding this guy, you also mentioned that this time, that this Sunday that you went out, you spent time together. It was kind of different, the connection. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so like the night of the party, we didn't want to like leave each other's side,
Okay.
and it almost felt like we were automatically like attracted, and we didn't have to make any effort, for example, to approach each other or to like become physical, like hugging each other or like holding hands. And when we went out on Sunday, it felt a bit like forced. I don't know if like we don't feel that sort of comfortable together yet, and that would be normal like in the beginning of a relationship. But this time it felt like he was doing that like intentionally, like he was like stepping back from me a bit, like to make it notable.
Okay, and you said that it was intentionally making notable. And what does that make you feel? Describe a little bit more. What did he do?
Um, like for example, we were taking pictures, and he just said like, okay, I'll take pictures of you, but like no pictures of us, like just pictures of you, like pose there, and like, and he seemed like he wasn't sure, like that he wanted that, and at some moments we held hands, and like then he just like left my hands, and then after that he asked me like when the day ended, he asked me if I got home safe, and like asked me like he said that he had had an amazing time with me, and that he loved to be with me, and that he wants to see me like more often. But then on Monday we agreed to meet at 7 a.m. and he never arrived. And like about at 1, he wrote me like, sorry, like I couldn't make it. I was like just busy. So it seems like he's like ambivalent, and he isn't fully like getting into a relationship. But again, I don't know if he wants a relationship or if from the beginning it was just us like fooling around.
Okay, so you're telling me that this situation was, as you said, ambivalent for you because he was trying and making notable that because he didn't want to get in the pictures, and you were holding hands, and then he was like a step back, and he was pretty confusing about the signs that he gave to you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what were your expectations before going out with him.
Okay, before going out, I was a bit biased
Okay.
because like my ex boyfriend, our first date was in in Centro Histórico, and I like that day for me, like until now, it's like really memorable. Everything was kind of perfect. Like things just went along. All the places we went to were open. We didn't have to wait for anything. It was kind of perfect, and it was really for me really unexpected. But this time with this guy, I was expecting for this to like repeat, and I did want everything to like flow and to be as this like it was in my first day with my ex. But it didn't happen, and it just made me feel like things weren't working out. Like for example, the day that I went with my ex, like it was all shiny and it was like perfect day. And with this guy, it was like really cloudy, and it seemed like it was gonna rain all the time. Some of the places we wanted to go were closed, and that just like brought everything down, like all my expectations. And I also expected him to be like a bit more, I don't know, like closer to me, like I don't know why, and this keeps, I don't know, like keeps bothering me is that since the party we haven't kissed,
Okay.
and we've gone out like 4 times, and on those 4 times we haven't kissed at all. So, well, at the party he couldn't stop kissing me, and now that we are going out together, just the two of us, he hasn't kissed me, and I don't know if that's a step that I should take.
Okay. So you've been talking to me about how have been your past experience and how it contrasts with what happened on this day. And it correct me again if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that this fact that he hadn't kissed you is important for you and uh, tells you something. Tell me more about that. What does that mean for you?
Maybe it means that he just wanted to be with me that night, and that he maybe just made a mistake, and now he wants to be my friend, and that's why he has asked me out, like for us to establish like a deeper friendship. But like I told you, like our first date, we went to an ice cream shop, and it was like it really fluent. We didn't have to make this effort to talk or to find something to talk about. And while we were walking on Sunday, it felt like we were a bit different.
Okay.
And I felt him like really distant and really just like disconnected. So that really made me feel like maybe I'm making a mistake, and maybe I didn't make the right choices, and maybe like our relationship doesn't really have a future.
Okay. So you've mentioned these changes that have happened since the first time you went on an ice cream shop and the fourth day that you had like recently. And how does this make you feel? The fact that you may think that, as you said to me, that he wanted you just for that night, as you told me.
It makes me feel like unsure of myself. Like when I'm around him now, I feel like really unsure, and I'm not like confident enough. I feel like I should try to like show off or impress him for him to be a bit more attracted to me. And I've tried to do that, but it works at moments, and then that just like goes, and he goes back to be like really distant and not really caring. But it, for example, today he wrote me like about 12:30, and I have class at 1, and he was like, doesn't matter, like just like let's just meet up for a little while, and we saw each other like for 10 minutes. And then afterwards he said like, at what time do you leave university? And I said like at 7, and he was like, okay, it doesn't matter, like I'll wait for you, and we can see each other like later. So in those aspects, like it seems like he is making an effort like to spend time with me, but when we are together, it just doesn't feel real.
Okay. So you mentioned before also that you were thinking that maybe he was wanted to get deeper maybe in this relationship of being friends. And what do you feel about that? Would you want that? Would you don't want that? What?
I mean, I would be okay with that, but he should tell me. Like, he should be clear on what he wants and what he expects from our relationship. And I wouldn't mind if he said, like, look, this isn't going, like, it's going nowhere, and I need to just be friends with you. Like, for me, that would be great. Like, it would be a total option, and I would consider it, like, with peace. I wouldn't be troubled with it, but I really need to know. Like, it's really confusing that night that we went out, the three of us, with some friends, and he just, but it was like really uncomfortable because he was literally like on top of my friend all the time, and I was literally like in front of him. So that showed me maybe that he isn't mature enough, and that he isn't sure of what he wants, and that even though we have this like little moments in which it feels real, it mostly like isn't. And I know that if I get involved in this relationship, it will be like really hard.
Okay. So it seems to me, like taking in account everything, the fact of your friend and him and you and all the relationships that you've established, that is, as you said, kind of ambivalent. And what you need to respect right now is to be like him, to be clear with you. And would you be expecting this clearness from your friend too?
Yeah, because when I asked him if it would bother him if I would go out with this guy, he said no. And he said that he would be totally okay if things go right between us and we decide to get together. And he said, like, look, I would be totally fine with it. I don't mind. Go for it. And now he's mad at me. And, like, I can feel that. And I know that he's avoiding me. So I don't understand why he didn't just tell me, like, look, it bothers me. Please stop doing it. Or just let's talk about this or something. In a very immature way, he just kicked me out. And I need him to be frontal with me too, but then I feel like he doesn't owe that to me because I wasn't frontal with him like either. So I don't feel like he owes that to me, and neither does this guy because I haven't like said anything either. So I'm in the position of claiming nothing. So I don't know like where to begin.
Okay. So it seems to me that the fact that, as you said, you think that he it doesn't owe you to be thrown out increases your guilty.
Yeah, because maybe if I would have been frontal with him, now he would be communicating things to me in a more honest way. And maybe if I would have told him this from the beginning, he would feel like he would owe it to me. But I know that he doesn't because he's clearly not being honest.
Okay.
And I feel like maybe it is my fault. Like maybe I did do the like wrong decisions, and I put it like this relationship in front of my friendship.
Okay.
And I feel that that is my fault, like entirely. But still, I would want him to be a bit more mature and just like not behave like this.
Okay, so let me know if I'm clear about that. Um, and I had a question for you. So you think that he knew about what happened with this boy since the beginning, you will say? Since this party when you kissed and
I
then
mean, I think that he, like I told you last time, and it was pretty evident that we were, like, we wanted to spend time together at the party. And I think that my friend did notice this, like, interaction between us two. But at the same time, he never told me anything. I mean, he never asked me, like, what's going on with him? Or, like, do you like him? Or, like, he hasn't been interested in it. So I don't know what he expects from me right now, if he wants me to leave this relationship for him or if he wants me just to talk to him. Like, I don't know what does he want from me now, and if he does know what happened at the party, he probably like deserves to be mad at me, but I don't think it's the right way to like act.
Okay. So you're telling me that it was pretty evident you knew that he knew what happened, and so I was wondering, and if he knew what happened to you, what do you think that made him like be with this guy in the party that you said that feel uncomfortable?
Yeah,
for you?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he did it to get back at me and make me feel uncomfortable as he did. Maybe he did it because he really wants to be with this guy. Like, I'm not sure. Like, he hasn't been at all communicative with me, and this guy hasn't either. And you know, I have like this plan in my mind for me to talk to him tonight, like after class, and me like really clarifying things, starting by the party. Like, look, what happened at the party? Like, it was both our mistakes, and make him understand that I need something certain. and not this like uncertainty of just looking at like where we're gonna like get something.
Okay, so you seem pretty upset about this topic that we've talked about right now, and tell me what are your options right now regarding the fact that you told me that in your mind you were planning to talk with him.
Okay, so my first option right now is to know clearly what this guy wants. So if he does want to be with me and he's just been confused or doesn't know if I like him, I will clarify this with him, and maybe we can both, maybe as not a couple but together, we can talk to my friend and clarify things like, look, we are trying to be together now, and if this guy takes the decision of stop seeing my friend, like we should all talk about that. And I know it's gonna be like really weird, and I don't know if they are both mature enough to do this. I really doubt that, but that would be like my first option. And in case that he doesn't want to be with me, that it's very likely, I will just say like, okay, look, we're friends and we have to take like our distance. If you still want to be with my friend, we cannot like see each other that much. And if we see each other, it has to be like with a group or with my friends there. So I'm really tired right now, and I just want this to stop, like to end this however I can, like to end this confusion and ambivalence. And I just want to be like really direct and frontal about what I want. And if they cannot handle that, I will just like step away and let them keep on with their child and things. Like I'm not up to that.
So you mentioned that you think that they're pretty immature in the situation, and regarding that, you need to be frontal and to clarify what you want. And what does that mean? What do you want?
Right now, I just want to be like in peace. I don't want this to become an issue between us. I just want this to like not affect me as it's doing right now. Like I literally spend all the time thinking of what I'm gonna do, and that's been killing me. So right now, I just want like peace. It doesn't matter to me right now if I stay with this guy or not. If my friend is mad at me or not, that's his problem. He's been really mature about this. I just want to be like focused on myself.
Okay. So you mentioned that. Also, we've talked about everything, your options. It seems to me that you're pretty clear about what you want, and that your inner peace, is the main thing.
Yeah.
So I will be talking about the next session. I hope everything goes right for you, and we'll be in contact.
Thank you. Ya, sí, de ley.